الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذ تبرأ الذين اتبعوا إذ تبرأ الذين اتبعوا من الذين اتبعوا إذ say the meaning. Say the meaning quickly. What does إذ mean? When. تبرأ. When someone takes bara'ah. Tabarra'a yatabarra'u means that someone say that I do not know you. I have nothing to do with you. I am relieving you from any connection that we had. We'll just be bari from that. Is tabarra'a alladhina, those. So uttubi'u, those who were followed. Min alladhina, from those people who followed. So they repudiate. They would do the bara'ah. They would disavow them. They would disassociate with them. To the people on the day of judgment, those who were following someone else, the other leaders, following their ideas, their teachings, rather than Allah and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the rightly guided scholars, they would not follow them. They would follow those who they considered to be the leader of the time. On the day of judgment, it would so happen that they would see, you know what, we never wanted to be following you. We have nothing to do with you. We have been followed. Those who we followed, we want to disassociate ourselves from. So on the day of judgment, they would say, we have nothing to do with you. They would disconnect themselves from those who they used to follow. And then they would, what would happen? وَرَأَوُا الْعَذَابِ وَتَقَطَّعَتْ بِهِمُ الْأَسْبَابِ. And ra'aw, they will see al-adhab, the punishment. And taqatta'at, severed, bihim, from them, al-asbab, all the bonds. All the connection will be gone. They would not have any links whatsoever. And they would not have any idea, any ties at all. No one would be able to support them, to help them. They will feel completely lost. Where they, in this world, they hoped that these demigods, the deities, that the people who we worship, the idols, the people, they would help us on the day of judgment. On that day, these people would dissociate themselves from them, saying that there's no way that you could help us. So they'd be completely lost. وَقَالَ الَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوا. So those people who were following those leaders, those big so-called elite people, they would say what? What would they say? لَوْ أَنَّ لَنَا كَرَّةً. If only we had a second chance, if you could go back again. فَنَتَبَرَّأَ مِنْهُمْ كَمَا تَبَرَّؤُوا مِنَّا. So the people who they hoped would help them on the day of judgment, who they believed would help them on the day of judgment. So those people who were followed, like the deity, on the day of judgment, it would happen. The people would say again, oh, by the way, we used to follow you. We used to call upon you. We thought that you were God. We asked you for help. We made you into deity, whether it was idols or the human being, jinn or the angels, so to say. They said, oh, just come and help us. We are here in the life hereafter. We followed you. Come and help us. But these people would say, no, we have nothing to do with you. Then the people who were following in the world would say, if only we had a second chance to go back to the world, we would sever our relationship with you as you have disassociated yourselves from us. We would have done the same thing. So they would say, if only we had a second chance, so we could disassociate ourselves from them as they disassociated themselves from us. كذلك يريهم الله أعمالهم حسرات عليهم. كذلك يريهم الله أعمالهم حسرات عليهم. Thus, like this, those people, yurihim, Allah will show them, Allah will show them their action, their bad deeds as a regret. They would say, we used to go and worship, we just were so much interested in thinking that you would be our intercessor on the day of judgment. You would deliver us. You would save us from the hellfire. We don't need to do anything. It's only you who could just take us to Jannah. We believed you and we followed you. And today we are regretting all those actions. Allah will make them regret those actions. They will become so much upset with that, obviously. وَمَا هُمْ بِخَارِجِينَ مِنَ النَّارِ. And they would not be able to come out of the hellfire. This regret is not going to help them. The feeling, this claim that if we were to go back to the world, we would, completely disassociate ourselves. We would divorce ourselves from them. We would never follow them ever. But it's not going to help them. Nothing would help on the day of judgment. When one has died, when they are about to die, or the sun has risen from the west rather than the east in the reverse order, then no tawbah would be accepted. No iman is going to be of any benefit because the veil is lifted. Now you have seen the life hereafter. Now the test is over. You've got the answer. You've got the paper out. You don't get any reward at that point. Nothing can, save you on that day. So then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhan nas. كلوا مما في الأرض حلالا طيبا. O people, كلوا, eat, مما, from what is in earth, في الأرض, halal, something which is permissible, lawful, طيب, pure. Now we'll cover that in a second. What is halal? Halal means something which is being allowed. Yes, exactly, permissible. So halla yahillu literally means to open the knot. The haramness is when it's tied, restricted. You can't have it. Now it's open up. Off you go. You can have it. So halal, something which has been made easy for you. Restriction has been lifted. So one of the companions, Sa'd ibn Abdullah, radiallahu ta'ala, he said, salvation, the success in the life hereafter depends on three things. Number one, eating halal, fulfilling the obligation, and following the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You eat halal after iman, obviously. You have to do these three things. Follow all the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do this and don't do that. Eat halal. Halal risk is extremely important. Risk the haram, it would not even help you with your hajj. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Rubba ash'ad aghbar. The people who are, very much devil. They walked, they traveled from one city to other city they came to Mecca, holding onto the Kaaba, onto the gates of Kaaba, hanging there, and calling upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with his beautiful attribute. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, help me, support me. Allah says, but he has been earning haram. He's been eating haram. مطعمه حرام ومشربه حرام وغذي بالحرام. He's been nurtured with halal, with haram stuff, haram money. فأنا يستجاب له. How could his dua be accepted? He's traveled all the way to be there and he's asking Allah, it will not be accepted. Halal, rizq halal is extremely important. Second is fulfilling all the obligation and following the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then you're done. What is tayyib? Tayyib means something which is good and include everything which is clean and pure. Something which is clean and pure. That is why it is extremely important to don't go for things which have got certain elements of uncleanliness. They've got some impurity in it, even the possibility of impurity. So when there is a suspicion, Is it permissible? Maybe permissible, according to some school. Maybe there's a leeway, but it doesn't feel as clean. Doesn't look very nice. Certain animals, you should have natural distaste for that. One should try and cultivate this hatred or at least some sort of dislike for that. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he would not like the meat of dog. Certain Sahaba had it, and it was permissible. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not even disliked. But there's certain food which is disliked. Even if they're permissible, certain schools would not allow that. So it is better to stay away. So the best thing is, whatever is not obligatory and it's only optional, you can have it and you cannot have it. It's permissible in that sense. Why have it? Why have it? For example, all these crabs, the crustaceans, the stuff from the mussels, the several different things that, because in Hanafi school, only fish is allowed. Certain other schools allow few other things. Why you want to go for that? Yeah, it tastes nice. So a non-Muslim would say alcohol tastes nice to him. But it's haram. But even something which is disliked, one should try and go above that level. Not just when it's haram, I'm going to stop it. Other than that, I would carry on. Even dislike thing, we should try and aim higher. Because it is not obligatory that you should have all those funny food. Whichever is available in the society, I'm going to try that. Why? Leave some for Jannah, inshallah. Although it's permissible, it might not be as tayyib, as purified. To be on the safe side, try avoid that. Then Allah says, وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا خُطُوَاتِ الشَّيْطَانِ. And do not follow the footsteps of shaitan. إِنَّهُ لَكُمْ عَدُوٌّ مُبِينٌ. Indeed, he is to you a clear-cut enemy. Shaitan is your clear arch enemy. Don't worry. Khutuwat is a plural of khutwa. Khutwa means steps. The distance between 2 feet is called khutwa actually. When you stand up, so first step ahead and second at the back, this step, this is called khutwa. 1 foot, second foot, any step, natural walk. And the 2 steps distance called khutwa. So shaitan's footsteps, we tend to follow that, isn't it? إنما يأمركم بالسوء والفحشاء. Indeed, he commands you of su and of fahsha. He commands you of su and fahsha. What is su? Su, it means which bothers us, something that affects us in any negative sense. Anything that bothers you, anything that bothers is su. So it's very, very broad, isn't it? So, and fahsha, something which is immodest. Yes. And another meaning of su is minor, and fahsha is major sin. Minor sins and major sins. Shaitan would command you, mute yourself. Shaitan will command you to do major sins and minor sins, slowly taking you from minor sins to slowly to the major sin. They all build up. And innama ya'murukum, he commands. And this meaning is very clearly seen in the hadith of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu. He said that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the son of Adam is influenced by a suggestion from shaitan and a suggestion from the angel. Angel guides us, gives us a positive thing. Shaitan gives us a negative thing. So shaitanic suggestion has the effect of bringing forth the expedient gains in the evil deeds and thereby opening the avenues of negating the truth. While the angelic suggestion promises reward and success for the good deeds and leaves a happy effect of a heart in peace at its attestation to the truth. What it means is shaitan would always give you some temporary fun, joy, something material here you can see and enjoy. You could see, yeah, it is, I want it. Without telling you that what would be the outcome of that. That is why, look at any sin you have committed. Think about that. The sin, the joy there is very short-lived. It is there only for that moment. Once it's over, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, or whatever is the duration of that sin that you enjoy, once it's over, it's gone. There's no more joy for that sin, except a regret afterwards. Even now you think about that, oh, I should have done that. Oh, I did that bad thing. Thinking now would make you regret, make you feel bad, believers. Whereas the opposite is true for the good deeds. When you do it, you might find it very difficult. I'm wasting my time here. People are enjoying outside. They're in the park. Someone may be having some fun with the family. And here I am in the masjid, listening to Quran, doing about something. It's too much, isn't it? At that moment, it feels a bit hard. But once it's over, the joy remains. Every time you think about the Ramadan that you fasted in. Wow, it was amazing, wasn't it? When you were doing that long tarawih, you felt like, when is Imam going to do the ruku? It's too long. It's too long. Once the Ramadan is over, gone. Wow. Even think now, you would enjoy that. Yeah, you're right. Doing and thinking about that gone Ramadan or Hajj or Umrah, whatever hardship you ask the brother, mashallah, just came tawseef from Umrah, Hajj, will accept your Hajj. And we make dua for all of us, inshallah. There must be a lot of hardship there. You could see his color. It's properly done. Yeah, roasted. Tough time, obviously. Hot weather, a lot of hassle, a lot of stress. Food, this and that. You have to queue up for this, waiting for the bus to come and take you all the way to Arafat. You're stuck in Arafat now, waiting to go to. Some people manage on time, some manage quite late at night. It's just stress and the pressure. Would we be able to be there? And this time there will a lot of hardship. But every time there is. But when you think back, look back and say, wow, now why am I here? I was rather, if it was okay, I could have been there, I would have been there because it was just lovely. That's the nature of the beauty. Good deed, you always remember and you always cherish it. Bad deed, you always regret and you always feel bad about it, even afterward. And that's why it's very short-lived. Very short-lived. And that is why we should never focus on that. Focus on the life hereafter. The reward will be there, inshallah ta'ala. وَأَن تَقُولُوا عَلَى اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. And that you say about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala what you don't know about. You don't know about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you're associating partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You don't know about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's attribute and you saying certain things against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without knowing Allah has children and Allah has daughters, Allah has like angels and the daughters of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That these idolaters, these idols are actually a way of intercession to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Excuse me. All wrong. You can't say about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala which you don't know. The only knowledge would come from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the form of hadith. You follow that. Now, obviously, scholars would explain to you what it means, what that particular ayah means. But inshallah ta'ala, since we started late and we leave it here, inshallah ta'ala. Because that's an extremely important topic that we needed to cover. But we'll leave it for the next week, inshallah ta'ala. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.